Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Next we have Cable Management. EDC Director Donna Scores, reference to that revolving loan.
Chairman, I move we take the matter off the table. Support.
Okay, we have motion support to take the matter off the table. Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
You ain't gonna get.
Donna, you got it.
You ain't gonna get yelled at for being here again, are you?
Yeah, you got wind of that, didn't you?
That doesn't take long.
Doesn't take much to take off a few of my board members. I'll tell you what I know, and then I'll tell you what I don't know. Let's start off with what I do know. There was a conference call on Monday to the MEDC and some of the entities with some of the concerns and questions that we've had. So it goes like this. The questions that were presented to the MEDC were, is there an extension or do we have to follow through the end of February? We have an extension granted that will end March 31st. At that time, we have to have a resolution from all of the 6 entities indicating that we are either in support or not in support of the regionalization. It has to be into the hands of the MEDC by March 31st. What that means is the interlocal agreement that I've given to you again today, which I gave to you 2 weeks ago, I suggest that you review that because when I come back in front of you to gather your approval or disapproval, what it means is that you support that interlocal agreement. And we'll get back to that in a minute. There have been other questions posed to the MEDC from that telephone conversation. The MEDC has indicated that they will provide funds to hire a consultant to produce a draft organizational plan that describes how the Western UP Regional will operate. Well, we asked them that question, and they had originally said they would. They now said that they will not. So Houghton has decided out of their revolving loan fund money that they will hire an independent consultant. Whoop it or no, has subsequently sent out a request for proposal to write an organizational plan for the revolving loan fund consolidation. He has sent it to several individuals and has posted it, I think, in some of the local media papers. They have until March 1st to respond, and the draft plan needs to be completed by March 19th.
By what date?
March 19th.
Okay.
We meet on the 23rd.
Right. Some of the other questions that we asked the MEDC is the defederalizing of the funds. Wisconsin, when they went into their revolving, or their new regionalization of the revolving loan fund money, all existing loans became defederalized. The state of Michigan has decided that that will not go with us. We will only defederalize money that is actually loaned out of the new fund. So those loans that we currently have in repayment, that money will not be defederalized. Everybody following me? I know it's kind of confusing. We asked whether or not any of the regional funds would go in for infrastructure grants. The MEDC stated no. We asked directly, if the community does not agree to participate in the regional fund, what will happen? The MEDC stated in that telephone conference that those funds then would be taken from each entity, those not wanting to participate, put into the regional fund. That means that that entity that votes not to participate will not have a chair at the table, will not have a vote. However, that entity can go to the new regional organization with a loan application and seek funding, but they will have no vote as to how that goes. There also was some discussion by the MEDC, and I would really like to see this in writing because there's been many things that they have come out with that they have not followed through with. But they indicated on Monday that if a regional fund has inadequate dollars to fund a project, the MEDC will provide additional CDBG funds to the loan. That's nice. I'd like to see it in writing, and I'd like to see how much they're willing to do. The City of Ironwood, I have been helping them out because they do not have a city developer, and I have been doing some of their loans for them for the city. Scott Erickson called me today and wanted to know if I would contact the MEDC and see if we could make an addition to that interlocal agreement that you have in front of you now. He would like to place into that interlocal agreement that each entity, the amount of money that they put into the regional fund, if each entity can hold that amount of money for 2 years. So I contacted the MEDC and I said, this is what the City of Ironwood is asking of me to ask you. Kevin Bond said yes. So that was fine. That was this morning. This afternoon, Kevin Bond emailed me and he said, in thinking more on your email to change the interlocal agreement, here is another option. What your county can simply do is just opt not to participate. Well, I emailed him back and said it wasn't the county. I was asking on behalf of the City of Ironwood. And then he goes on to state what this will mean is that the City of Ironwood will not be prevented from bringing any deals to the fund, but they will not have a seat at the table. So I emailed him back and I said, is this a yes or is this a no? Are you telling me, yes, we can make a change and we can add what the City of Ironwood wants, or no, we cannot? I don't know because I haven't heard back from him. I'm not sure it's a great idea. That's just a personal opinion. You know, the county doesn't really have any money to speak of right now. So if each entity that puts in what they have in their fund and goes into the general new fund, really that doesn't leave Gogebic County with much money. So we would benefit the most and lose a lot if, I think, if a phase or a phrase like that went into the interlocal agreement. But right now, I'm not sure that the other entities are in favor of that. So I've asked Kim Stoker today from Wupperter if we might be able to have a meeting next week or the following week to take one more look at that interlocal agreement. If we can make changes, I personally want to make sure that all the entities are in agreement to that interlocal agreement, because when the resolutions are passed and signed, you're agreeing to that interlocal agreement. So right now, I can't tell you if there's a possibility to make change or not into the interlocal agreement. What I am going to ask of you is that you take a look at it, become familiar with it, because basically when I come back to you next month and ask you what it is you want to do with the regionalization, what you're going to be passing is basically the material or the content that's within that interlocal agreement. The EDC board meets tomorrow. I will bring them up to date as I'm bringing you up to date. They don't know exactly what you know right now, but we do meet tomorrow, and I'll be giving them the same information.
Question?
Yes, Joe.
Does the EDC have their own legal person, or would that be Dick Adams?
That's Dick Adams.
Would the EDC be running this through his office for any technical response?
I personally don't think it hurts, and I know that came out in your discussion 2 weeks ago. One of the commissioners had made mention that he thought it might be a good idea to have Dick Adams take a look at this.
Because if the EDC does it, then we don't have to do it, or if we do it, then they would have to do it, just so somebody does it.
You mean the acceptance or non-acceptance?
No, sending it to Dick Adams' office.
I would prefer that you do that. Please, if you would be so kind as to do that.
Chairman,
Yes.
on page 2 there where it's the establishment of the loan fund board,
Yes,
says that a designee and an alternate be appointed by the chief elected official.
yes, I was
Can
going to...
members of our committee, the EDC committee, be members of that? Can you be?
Yes.
Or is it just county board members?
No, they are actually suggesting that each one of us that works on these loans be representing our entity, because we can speak to our loans to the board. And then they are asking that an alternate be appointed, and that would be one of your county commissioners as appointed by your board would be an alternate.
So in other words, you could hold a position.
Absolutely.
Okay. Has there been some discussion on the EDC board?
There has been?
A negative?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There's been
okay.
negative that